two of the top dogs in world darts of a decade
25.
ago.
Raymond's won the ball.
Even longer for that man, the daddy of
Raymond
Dutch darts, Raymond van Barneveld. 7 world titles between them, going head to head in the third round of a PDC Players
60.
Championship event. Good signs for the pair of them to have got to this stage. Adrian Lewis and Raymond van Barneveld both averaging up near 100 in their previous matches. And speaking of multiple world titles, Glenn Durrant is still alongside me, Chris Murphy.
Glenn goes red
91.
just a little bit, but how exciting, the 60th time these two have met, so they're going to know each other inside out. Takes me back to, is it 2017, the 9 data by Lewis?
85.
Just an amazing career for the pair of them. And Barney, what a story this has been, from that infamous interview after his retirement to winning a Players Championship last year, and the success that's been since. And he just, like a fine wine, seems to be getting better and better. And what a contest this is, because there's no better sight in darts than the fluent, effective, efficient Lewis at his best.
Yeah, Lewis himself returned to the winner's circle last year, winning here in Barnsley Players Championship 20 in July, ending a lengthy spell without victory. Both players who, on their day, are as talented as anybody.
Yes, I feel like I've had the hors d'oeuvre, and this is the main course, but this is only the third round. And that's what happens as Barney looks at double 18 for a scintillating 150 finish, with Aidey Lewis sat on a 2-darter. That's what these two guys have done to each other for many, many years. Just trade blow after blow after 140. But what a finish that 150 was.
Yeah, Lewis did little wrong in that opening leg, but Barney managed to hold on to his throw.
100.
The winner of this match will take on either Dylan Slevin, an exciting new talent, and Joe Cullen
60.
playing him. So whoever gets through that will meet the victor of this in the last 16.
Well, in the first
140
Players Championships already, whoever's beaten Dylan Slevin or Jamie Hughes, 2 out of the 3 have gone on to win it. So beat Slevin and you're in with a chance.
60.
Just looking as well, there aren't many seeds to have been eliminated in this tournament. Adrian Lewis seeded 26, Barney is an unseeded player, but the top section of the draw, the very top quarter, 6 of the 8 players not seeded. So big opportunity. Robert Owen, Mike Ivanhoven, Keane Barry or Ronnie Hybrex will be in the quarterfinals. And the next game in that section of the draw, Stephen Burton against Jeffrey Spiridons.
Opportunity knocks.
92.
Lovely last start that was from Barney. Just so composed in himself right now. Totally at peace with his game. Lewis, the most talented player I think I've seen on the dartboard.
140.
It just makes the game look ridiculously easy. But it's Barney on 84. So we could see the bullseye coming, but it's double 11 this time.
73.
Just the wrong side of the way. You can see the disappointment because he fully expects the way Lewis has been playing today that this 41 will go. And
game shot.
Does. 2-dart, a wonderful start for both players. Both players be happy with how it started, but Barney throwing first. Will that be the deciding factor come the end?
180.
Stunning.
Yeah, Michael Van Geuren himself says that Adrian Lewis has more talent than him. That's a big call for such a
96
skilled Arrowsmith to make.
I do say talent is only half of what you require to reach the very top. It's what comes behind it. That
140.
work ethic, that practice, that dedication, and the mindset, the desire.
96.
Well, it's Barney right now with a beautiful start at 140, 180. And you may see the bullseye coming here, but I think that's such a good marker for him.
140.
He just pings it to leave 41 after 9. Virtually impossible to beat, unless you're going to ping a 9 dart to yourself, Adrian.
99.
He can't leave a finish after 9, so Barney with time on his side here. Brilliant leg of darts from the 5-time world champ. Actually, we do have the benefit here of seeing the footage before you at home do. And Raymond van Barneveld, when he approached this streaming booth for the first time, wasn't wearing that undergarment, the long
80.
sleeve. So obviously came there, decided he maybe felt a bit of a chill or something, and decided to change it up.
It does feel a different board, Murph, you know, from the outside boards. When you come onto the TV lane, it's
85.
It's the brightness. I mean, you are maybe sometimes there's a draft from one of the open doors from there, but it does. I always prefer to play on it, I won't lie, but them outer boards, you see some scandalously good averages because you just sort of compact around each other. This does feel like it's a TV match.
98.
Well, you mentioned that the pair had met so many times, 60 times, but this is their first meeting now for almost exactly 4 years, and that was in a final
140.
of one of these events. Adrian Lewis beating Barney at a floor final in 2019. In fact, he has won the last 3 meetings between
100.
this pair. Barney's last win some 6 years ago now over Adrian Lewis.
It just sounds bizarre to say that, doesn't it? It just, you feel like they're playing each other every week.
65.
Seems to be going a lot with darts right now. That 150 still being the highlight in the first leg from Barney. Just the pace of his throw right now.
134.
76 is one of these finishes I say to people, these make or break. These take you from good to great. When you get them 1 darts at the tops.
56.
Usually when it goes low, that just means he's feeling a bit of tension in his body, a bit of anxiety in his body. This guy looks clear as day right now.
Again, he locates that treble 14.
62.
Just on the wire of the double 11 though, and Lewis gets another go, double 10.
You don't often see the response like that from Barney.
Oh. Just saw a little look from Adrian Lewis there, as if he felt that Raymond van Barneveld maybe made some kind of noise. We do love a bit of drama in comms, Glenn. You learn that.
I've yet to see they're all being too nice to each other. I was expecting more from a few of the fiery players yesterday, so yeah, everybody's been so respectful and magnanimous. And
100.
Well, they've had the moments, this pair. I remember a Premier League match where Adrian Lewis was accused of over-celebrating, overdoing it by Raymond van Barneveld.
Dare I say that
60.
Barney's... I mean, he looks fitter than ever, Barney, right now. Dare I say he's like a different type of player now, I'm sure, with that competitive spirit inside him. And that just that little look by Lewis where maybe he's creaked on a floorboard or he's got money in his pocket, anything. It's bizarre when you're in that area because you're saying to yourself, don't react, just focus on the dartboard, and then when you do react, you're kicking
100.
yourself. And afterwards you go to the bar and say, I'm sorry I did that. You just have these moments, and right now it's that close between these two. It's maybe the one who's the most focused, that goes on to win the game.
I do tend to agree, actually. The out-of-retirement version of Raymond van Barneveld does seem like a more mellow fellow, if you like.
Stunning.
177.
Elegant. You might see the 25s come in. The 15s.
135.
So it gives Barney something to think about. Great marker. And that darker barrel as well. I always struggled with a black barrel. It's obviously Barney's tried various generations of his darts and flights and stems. Even there was a period where he was trying to get the dart to land like Taylor. I never really got away. I am quite old-fashioned in a sense. I do like that really silver barrel.
Is that just a sight thing so you can see it better in the board in the black segments?
Yeah,
60.
It clearly works for Barney right now. Like I said, these darts are flying, and for the pair, look at them averages. Just beautiful to watch. Just sit back and enjoy.
48.
Yeah, really good stuff. I mentioned that they were both up around that level. Barney 100.38 in beating James Wilson in his previous match. That went the distance as well, so that over 11 legs. Adrian Lewis not far
46.
behind that. 98.1, and it only took him 7 legs to beat Joe Mernon in the previous round, but he did average 102.91 in a 6-2 success against Luke Woodhouse in the first round, and a great win
60.
for Barney when he beat Danny Noppert at that stage, the number 7 seed.
Just looking, Jim Williams has taken out Damon Hetta. Just the 106 average for Jim Williams.
58.
I messaged him last week, Murph. I said, when did you get so good? And he replied, I'm still throwing away silly games right now from what I'm witnessing. He's on the rise. He looks like he has a chance of going all the way today. That's how he feels, he said. It's nice, all the plaudits that you're playing well, you're hitting big averages, but it's titles and money
85.
he wants right now.
One player to keep an eye on today, Krzysztof Kachuk. When he does
53.
put a couple of performances together, he tends to have good days and good runs. And he's 4-3 up over Daryl Gurney, despite the fact that Gurney's averaging 111 in that match.
Yeah, there's an element of players,
60.
isn't there, where if they can get through them first two, and if they can get to the board final, suddenly they become different players. A bit like Matt Campbell yesterday.
Oh, super stuff from Adrian Lewis. And do you know what? These days, I think he's one of them. Adrian Lewis, if he can get through a couple of matches, he often goes deep in the tournament.
We are seeing more
140.
facial mannerisms from Barney this time than I've probably seen a lot. Probably based on the fact he's playing his old adversary in Lewis,
Game
but
shot.
this is just what we need. 3-3 after 6 legs. I'm really enjoying every single dart here. Hope you are the same.
We do have another player through to the last 16.
100.
Glenn mentioned Jim Williams beating Damon Hetta. Following him through is Jeffrey Sparidan. 6-2 win over Stephen Burton for him.
Yeah, what a weekend he's having.
100.
Probably went away from last week without a victory. Thinking this is a little bit tougher than I thought.
58.
And when you get occasions when it's a treble-less visit, when you play with players this good, that's the time to capitalise. And Adrian Lewis is licking his lips at them 2 darts.
180.
And just that 158, just mark that in your book. The moment Barney had a treble-less visit, because there won't be many. But this is a sign of a champion.
121.
I think I'd have stayed on the treble 20 bed there, but who am I to know?
Yeah, there was no real sense in switching. I wasn't going to leave a finish, whatever happened.
180.
Adrian Lewis. It's number 4 for him in this game to once again leave 41 after 9.
98.
Yeah, sometimes you build up a game, maybe build up a too much, but these two are absolutely delivering. You have to fancy this double 16.
25.
Oh. And a game can turn on 3 darts. This 1-2-4 is a finish we like, because it's only 1 treble to leave the bull. That treble being treble 18, but not on this occasion. You see the disappointment, the wry
56.
smile. Lewis sprints, I mean sprints to the hockey, because he wants this double 8 put to bed.
Impatient to arrive at the hockey there, Adrian Lewis.
No
Maybe
score.
just too overexcited.
Yeah, dare I say, boring does a little bit more composure there from Lewis. 68, you have to fancy this. Big dart in this contest.
Game shot.
What a dart from the champion, and there's the fist pump, and Aidey Lewis won like that, because when you've had missed darts at a double, he's right behind him again. You're trying to dictate the pace. That's anyone who plays squash, and it's like getting that centre of that area there where you're trying to dictate the match. You just get the feeling between these two, I want control of the hockey. And right now,
135.
Lewis was beginning to take control, but it's Barney who leads 4-3.
Must admit, I've drunk squash. I've never played it.
100.
Update from elsewhere. Johnny Clayton, the 3rd man through to round 4. He's beaten Krzysztof Ratajski 6-2, average of 104.84. The man who's top of the averages so far this year.
A couple of players who didn't have great weeks last week. Keane Barry, Martin Schindler.
180.
Bouncing back today, that's for sure. Keane Barry's leading 5-3. Schindler 5-0 up against Andy Bolton, who just beat Chris Dobie.
140.
Well, Barney seems to hit a 140 every visit. Lewis seems to hit a 180 most visits. And he gets a dart double 13 to level the match.
55.
Now then, a big moment, a shot that could break Adrian Lewis, perhaps in more ways than one.
Huge dart. What
Game
a
shot.
dart. There's been a couple of occasions where Barney's had one dart to really cement his authority. And you can just see that smile of happiness there, because Lewis has just rolled his eyes there. I have this obsession now, we're looking at mannerisms and body language and what people are doing.
134.
You'll be hurting. The man in your picture right now will be hurting at 5-3 down, because there's been nothing to split these two.
180.
He weathered a storm, and the storm is still going full power from Adrian Lewis. He's hit half a dozen maximums in this game, but he's going to have to reel off 3 successive legs, 2 of them against a throw, or he'll be bowing out. Do have a few more players through to the last 16. Christoph Kachuk did get the better
100.
of Daryl Gurney. And Gurney averaging 104, losing 6-3. Simon Whitlock as well, who reached a final. Has beaten Rob Cross.
Whitlock and Cross both look good on this stream earlier. And right now Barney's looking great, because Lewis is just beginning to falter. Barney might look at the 19s here on 173.
45.
Listen to that 45. He might play it simple on the 20s, but 720 is playing it simple, because he's banging the zone that there now. And what a setup this is. Advantage Barney.
133.
Poised to win the match. What if Adrian Lewis could hit another 180? He would. But instead he has to hope that Barney doesn't hit tops.
In what was an absolute build as a blockbuster. It's Barney on double 5.
35.
Missed doubles once again, this time from Barney. Did I expect that? No, I didn't.
And I don't think he did either. Barney looked bemused there, didn't he?
Game shot.
It's the first time he's really flinched on the doubles in this game. And Adrian Lewis punishes, and the game goes on. There is one of the 2 breaks he needed. No, break, Raymond, break. It's not your turn, pal. And the referee, Luke Guest, had to just remind Raymond van Barneveld. Not another.
140.
Well, not this time.
Just great to see the 2 giants of this game sharing a joke about it. I think this match deserves to go
140.
full distance. Certainly from a commentator's point of view, that's the case. But he's just right in the zone now, and like I said, that when you're playing, when you come into the venue,
180.
Last 128 game, you don't feel like these 2 players are playing right now. Now you're thinking, I can go on and win this. Now there's not a nerve in my body and I'm playing my best darts.
100.
But the negative to that is your opponent's doing the same, and that's why you get some scandalously good games at this stage of the day.
Speaking of best darts, that's now 7 180s from Adrian Lewis.
121.
And even when he hit a big one, he rescued it with 2 more darts in the treble 20, which just looks like
140.
it's on the end of his arm in this match. He's been that good on it, he needs to be careful to avoid it here.
And if you wonder what the facial thing is, just sat up a little bit high, so he had to move across the hockey to widen that double top. And of course he pings it.
Well, we said a moment ago he had to break twice. Of course you still have to hold as well, but he made sure of that with an 11 darter, Adrian Lewis.
96 is the minimum. For Lewis it's simple now, you need a 2 treble visit. And you think, how come it's so easy
96
to be hitting 180s, 140s, but when it comes to 5 each, them trebles are like gold dust. And that's exactly what Barney's in right now.
135.
And that could be the moment. 135 behind, but what a dart that is, Mav.
Can't follow it this time.
100.
Have the big visits just dried up at the wrong time for Adrian Lewis. He hit 7 180s across his first 2 matches. He's doubled his tally in this match alone. But now he
32.
He needs to think about this. 305.
There's a couple he's thinking, should I just stay on the treble? That's the right way to go. He should really use a treble 20 bed there, but because they were so good. What do I know? Because it leaves that 1-4-3 finish now, and just when you're thinking it was in Barney's hands, or is it in Barney's hands?
180.
Well, I said welcome back to 2012. They're playing like they were last decade here, and what a way to win it that would have been.
87.
Great attempt, great effort, great performance from Adrian Lewis, but Raymond van Barneveld has more match starts.
Game
What was
shot
billed as
and
the
match.
big blockbuster, the two giants of the game absolutely delivered. And I, as the commentator on that one, thoroughly enjoyed every moment. Both of them are still showing that the best is still in front. The future is bright for these guys. Look at them averages, both averaging over 100. Thoroughly enjoyable. But it's Barney that comes out by the smallest of margins. What a game.